This is my advice to you, right? It's a little bit off the storytelling tower. Every time you have a job, think of it as content, don't think of it as job. Don't think of it as job description. Job descriptions are the most boring things in the world. They're a functional list of duties. And if I'm a developer who develops in Java, I know what one of those does. It doesn't matter whether I do that for Vend or Xero or KPMG or Deloitte. It really doesn't matter. I know what one of them does. I'm not interested in that stuff. What I'm interested in is what does a developer do there. Number one piece of content everyone wants to see, picture of the place I'm going to work. That's the first thing. So anything you put out about a job, it's got to have a picture saying this is your place. You know, could be the most powerful adverts you do on places like Instagram. Put a picture out and say, do you want to work here? Click here to find out what you might be doing. All that kind of stuff. Very, very powerful. This is the way people tell stories. You know, why should we think the sharing should be different because suddenly we're talking about careers and career sites and stuff like that?
Can I ask a question?
You can. Just interrupt me and shout.
I will. Okay, here I go. What do you see as the role of a recruitment agency in the storytelling, tell the story of a client, or should they be telling the story of what it's like to be a candidate coming through a recruitment agency?
You should be telling the story of you and what you are. Right? This is what you have to do. At the end of the day, you can curate somebody else's story and you can find a way of doing that. You have to tell your story, the things that you're seeing that are interesting or exciting if you're a recruitment agency, right? So, and there's lots of content you can do on that. Really, and what can we do that's useful? Stuff that if I ran a recruitment company now, I wouldn't think of it as a recruitment company. I would think of it as a network and a data business. What I would want to do is enable everyone to be able to go into our data and use it in a meaningful way. How do we make ourselves useful to society without us costing money? Think about it, if you're a candidate, and Zuna did a great job of this, by the way, in the UK. They did value my CV. You put your CV in, it benchmarks it against other CVs and says, this is probably the salary you might want to look at. So all the information, you think about CV's about 270 data points, which a candidate could use to be useful. Put that out there and say, here's some useful stuff. And putting stuff in the market of saying, this is what we're finding. But not, if you want to, I've heard of people going on a workshop to say how to be a thought leader. Don't give them your money. Do not do that, right? If you want to be a thought leader, there's a dead simple way to do it. Have a thought. Dead simple. Most thought leaders don't have that. If you want to be a thought leader, have a thought. And have something have a story that backs that up and start sharing that. And think about, if I'm a recruitment company, how can I be useful to my community? How can I actually be useful to them? What are the things I've got that I can share with them where I'm not looking for any commercial gain? The other thing is stop looking for candidates and clients. Look for people. Who are the people in the conversation? Because if I connect with them and share stories with them and help them when I can, then there will be a return on it.